I got the best box of junk from my friend Julie. Just stay tuned because it's so good. Might be some of my favorite pieces ever.
If you didn't see my box opening, this is what I got from Julie. And we're going to start with the little sign. I did take this outside and I sanded this down nice and smooth on the top. And then I rounded all of the corners on it as well, so it didn't look so new. And I am going in with Denim in by Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. And I'm going to be giving this 3 coats of paint. You can tell on this first one, it always looks scary, but I promise by coat 2, it's going to be beautiful. And while I'm painting, welcome to our flipping frenzy. I think this is the 3rd time that Sonnet's Makers Creative Group has done this. And we are a group of small business owners. And what this is we trade our stash pieces. Here is a little candlestick I also got from Julie, who, by the way, y'all, she is brand new to YouTube. We need to show her all the love and make sure you watch her video, give her a thumbs up, subscribe to her channel. She is the sweetest thing and sent me the absolute best stuff from her stash. This is all stuff I normally flip, so I was so excited to get this. But back to me really quick. I am the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor as well as all of your crafty needs. I carry DIY paint, Sweet Pickins, Milk Paint, Iron Orchid Designs, Roy Cycle Treasures, Connie Lines and Designs, and more. You can find me on all the social medias. Those are linked below as well as our website, www.midwestcharm.co, and that is linked below as well. And you can also find us in person in Hinckley, Minnesota. The address is down below. So, Flippin' Frenzy. We literally draw names and you send a box of your stash to whose ever name you get. And Julie got me and sent me this fabulous box of junk. And I got Marla. I will also link her stuff below as well. And I sent her a box of goodies as well. And here I am just repurposing these all. And you can see the second coat is so much better. And when I set a 3rd coat, I literally go along like the edges or anywhere I might see just a little bit of white popping through. So it really was like 2 coats with just a teeny tiny touch up. But if you can tell, the coverage is so much better. I do go in with a heat gun and force some great crackling and chipping on this, and I love it. I did the same with that little candlestick. It is ceramic. In case you were wondering if you can use milk paint on ceramic, you sure can. This one is a vintage piece that is stamped Japan on the bottom. It was worn, it had some flea bites, it was just a really not pretty color. So it's got a makeover right along with this. And you're wondering, how is this a holiday flip? Y'all, the final results of my pieces, oh, I am so in love with them. But I'm going to make you wait till the very end to see all the final results because they're so good and they do all go together. And this blue was the perfect addition and exactly what this little mini vignette I created with the stuff I got from Julie needed. And you can see here, even on this little candlestick, it is looking so much better. What you see where the white's peeking through is actually where there was some wax on this candlestick. I decided to leave it on there and use that as a resist. And when you use your heat gun, it just melts it all off anyways, and it makes it super easy to wipe off. So I'm going to go in with the new Holly and Vine stamp set by Iron Orchid Designs. I picked out 2 pieces of pine boughs, and I'm going to go in with my white permanent ink and ink this up and stamp this on. And it's not going to look like all that vibrant until we go ahead and seal this up, and then it's like boom, looks beautiful. These stamps by Iron Orchid Designs are so detailed and so gorgeous, and I haven't used these ones yet, so I was super excited to take them out and do some creating with them. And this is just going to give us a little bit of background interest for the main portion of our little sign recreation. And can anybody guess what I'm going to dig into and put on here next? If you guessed a mold, you might be right. I went ahead and used some air dry clay and put it in our new Saint Nick mold by Iron Orchid Designs. I love this piece. It does use quite a bit of clay, but I did want to be able to do some finagling with him, which is why I did use clay. And right now I'm just putting some Titebond Quick and Thick onto the back of him, and we are going to glue him down. And no, I have not sealed my paint yet. We are just going to get him glued down. I'm going to push all the edges down. He's still freshly pulled from the mold. And here I am going in with an X-Acto knife, and I am cutting off the bottom part of his beard that hangs over. I was going to leave it, but y'all, I decided that I wanted to make this a shelf sitter, or they could hang it on a wall. And I don't always put final results in here, so you're going to have to wait till the end. But I did go in with the new, I think I fit something in Figgy. Anyways, it's got the silver and the gold. It's a new transfer from this year's holiday. You guys, it's so pretty. I decided to go with gold, and I took out the words Merry Christmas just for the final little touch on here. And then I had to go in with my oil wax. I went in with dark oil wax and I sealed all of this up. Yes, including the Santa. I did seal the Santa with some DIY crystal clear chandelier liquid patina before I glued him down, and it was all the way dried before I did that. So it's already been sealed up so that when I go in and put the oil wax on there, it's just gonna sit into all of the details and all of the crackle and crazing that we got on our sign, and just give it so much more detail. It looks fabulous, so make sure to check it out at the end. Project number 2 was that bright yellow and red box. And I'm going to go in with this red color. It is a fusion color that we got in our maker's box, if you get that. Um, I will post below what it is, but I decided to go in with this color. It's an all-in-one, and I was really hoping that it would help neutralize the bright. So I did go out and sanded this smooth, and then I sprayed it with some shellac, hoping that that would block anything from pulling through. Y'all, it took so many coats of this paint to cover that yellow and the dark. I think I went in with 4 coats of this, and then the last one I just kind of did little touch-ups over where like the black marks are. It took a lot, but it self levels and it turned out really pretty. So the final result was so worth this. And this is just a little box that has like little brass hinges and a little brass lock on it. It just is so cute, and it's the perfect size. And when you see this finished, you'll understand what I was going for here. This is going to make a perfect keepsake for a parent or a child. I just love it. I am going in with the new postcard stamp. I believe that's what it's called, by Iron Orchid Designs. And I am going in and randomly putting some of this down. I did the little place your stamp here, and then the postal, like where they do the postal code. And yes, I went in with another Santa. So this guy again was sealed up with liquid patina before I glued him down. And then I glued him down with the Type On Quick. He's not glued here. I'm using it to measure right now because I wanted to do more of this postcard on here to make it look like the top is for, got a space for the address. So this could maybe be for letters to Santa. And another thing I also didn't show you is each of these sides also has some sort of a stamp on it in the same white. So the back of it with the hinges has Santa and his sleigh, and then each of the other 3 sides just has the simple postcard word from this stamp set. Now we're going to go in with our Type On Quick and Thick and get this baby glued down. This time I'm not trimming anything off, so if his little beard or his hat hangs over, I just kind of smooth that down and make sure that all of the parts are touching the surface and it can adhere really well to our little box. Have I mentioned that I love this mold yet? I have used it on so many things. It looks great with resin and it looks great with clay. I just needed to be able to manipulate this over the edges. So I made sure that that was the case. I did, like I said, seal this up first. But now I am going to go in with a Ranger product. And this is it's like a texture paste with glitter in it, and it looks so shiny and beautiful like snow. And I really wanted to accent the rim of his hat and the little poof on the end. So I'm using this there, and then I go in with a sprinkle of the same brand of the mica snowflakes. It's got little flakes and glitter in it, and I do get a little quick close up of that. And then this all just is going to get one coat of some, oh my gosh, my mind quit, some liquid patina to seal it up, except for the part where I just added that glitter. That is got the texture paste to hold it in, so it's all good. I do have a couple little close-ups so you can see some of this before you get to see the final results. Y'all, this texture paste is delicious. I know some of you don't like me using food words, but oh, it's just beautiful. Look at that glimmer. And my last project. This one is an old cardboard canister with a lid, and I'm going to go in with White Swan and give the bottom of this a good coat as well as the side. So I did, before I went in with this part, it had a napkin decoupaged on it. So I took my finger sander, which you see right there, and I sanded everything nice and smooth and got as much off that was loose that I could. And the reason I'm not showing everything today is because of how we premiere these. We only get 20 minutes for our videos, and I need to cut some stuff out. And when I first sat down to edit, I had like 48 minutes, you guys, and that was without my little intro and outro. So I really needed to cut some stuff out. So we're going to go in with a good coat of the White Swan by DIY, and it got me really good coverage, and I'm happy with the one coat because we are going to go in and distress this. So I just wanted to make sure that those little trucks and pumpkins were completely covered up, and I wanted the bottom to be a little bit more finished than what it was. And then I'm also putting paint along the rim of this canister as well. I got good coverage, like I said, so we're just going to stick with the one coat since I'm happy with how this has turned out. Now for the top of this, I am going in with that same red by Fusion. I believe this is something Fort York red. I just remembered, y'all. I did give this two coats of red, and we are going to set this aside to dry because we are going to distress this part as well. But first, we're going to go in with some Mr. Bottle and mist my little rice paper here. This was a gift from a friend. And I'm going to go in with some liquid patina, and I believe this is just some matte gel sealer. I will link it below because I do use this, but it's left over from Sonnet's Retreat from our maker's box from there. And I'm going to lay this down like I would on any other decoupage product. However, I'm going to start with the middle of my paper and not an end. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to make sure the seam is in the back for this, and I want to be able to also line up the lines on my Campfire Marshmallow part. So once I get it lined up where I want it, I smooth out that middle part first, and then I just work my way around. like I normally would. So instead of starting on the end, we're starting in the middle and working our way out to the sides. We're going to get this completely adhered and let this dry before we sand off those edges. And then we're going to repeat this process exactly the same on the other side. I just want to make sure that all those little edges are down. Another thing I did while painting was get all the little edges on the lid and the top of that canister too. A quick little shot. Oh, I added a transfer of Santa on the back. And I tied in the little bit of blue on there too. And now you're like, what the heck is this woman doing? I'm going in with a couple of colors by DIY Paint. The one is the grayish brownish is weathered wood, and the other one is Summer Crush. And I am just going in and stippling this into multiple spots. You see me kind of mixing the two colors there. I'm going for a rust effect. I did also throw a little bit of salt wash in my orange to give it a little bit of texture. You know how rust sometimes has that rough feel to it, and I want to make sure it has some texture on there as well. So we're going to add this into random spots along the bottom, along the top, and then, yep, we're going to mist this like crazy and get some drippies, and you can see me using the brush to add some more, and I'm sorry I didn't tip this, you guys. I didn't even think to move my camera angle, but you'll see here in a second kind of the final results of that. There we go. And I'm going to keep working my way around this piece until I get the desired effect that I want. I'm going to do the same thing to the lid as well. And then we are going to show you our final results. Look at this, you guys. I love how it turned out. It is beautiful. And I totally plan to put a tree in it. All right, here we go for your final results.
What did you think? How do you think they turned out? I love them all. Do I have a favorite? I don't know, because they're all so stinking good. I've seriously considered keeping them. So anyways, let me know below what you guys think, and let's join the next person for Flippin' Frenzy.